Good evening, you're welcome to Pundits on the Flip TV. I am Christian Chico. I have with me Honorable, and his name is
Ido Israel Aristotle.
Aristotle, that is the scholar. Okay, we are looking at critical issues that we have in the polity today. The political atmosphere in the APC has been triggered by the demand of the President, General Muhammad Buhari, retired, who asked APC governors to allow him choose a successor that will continue in his legacies. It has been rumored that the preferred successor of the president will be a person that will be a shock to many. As it stands, there are over 10 presidential hopefuls that have passed through the screening who are also working to become flag bearers of the party. Some months ago, the president has said that if he reveals his candidate, the person will be assassinated. Let's look at the issues. As we discuss this issue, what do you think about the would-be Buhari successor?
I think the matter dates back to 2015, when the president, after he emerged as the president, he made one iconic statement that every Nigerian fell in love with, but that is going to be an albatross and going to end us at the end of the day. The president said it belongs to everybody and it belongs to nobody. As at that time everybody was clapping, we did not. I belong to nobody, so I am accessible to everybody. I can accept everybody.
I can be fair.
I can be fair until the president told us that he has somebody that is interested in to succeed him, which in the first instance is a wrong notion. It has never happened in the annals of our history. Yes, you might have your preferred person, but you walk underground. Even in sane and saner climes, for president to ensure that somebody wins at a lower level or at a lower, the president will be seen to come down to that senatorial district or to that area, to that nomenclature, to campaign, canvass, and let us have a visible person. Now the president said he did not want to tell us his successor, so that he would not be assassinated. Now, in the first instance, that is implicatory on the part of the president, because the president is not even supposed, in the first instance, to have somebody to be interested in.
Is it the 1999 constitution or the APC constitution I think you are talking about? Because I believe there's consensus in the APC constitution.
There is nothing consensus in this country. That's what I was telling you before we entered here. Consensus is not constitutional, it is conventional, and it is a device. It is an undemocratic, autocratic device of our elected representatives to ensure that the people they handpicked, their own appendages, are the people that they put at the end of affairs. And that's why, if you look at it, since 2015 up to date, you don't have local government administration in this country, because the lowest rung of leadership in the country, where people are expected to vote and elect people that are closest to them most, has just been bastardized, because it is now reserved for wives, girlfriends, and cousins of the state governors. So
or classmates
of the governor, they just handpicked, and that has eroded the value and tenets of democracy in its first instance. And if you look at it, the president has been so sanctimonious with the governors that in the last 6 years he has allowed them bring the local government chairman, suggest the names for ministers and boards and parastatals. The president is now influencing who comes or who becomes what from each state, and the state governors are basking in that inferior, forgetting the fact that the president is coming to use that to hunt them. Now let us fast track to the National Convention of the APC. The National Convention of APC was supposed to be a credible process whereby people that have worked assiduously for 6 years, 7 years, whereby they will pick a vibrant national leadership that will pave way for somebody that will come and complement. That is a word that we cannot use, because if you say compliment on what the president has done, we have really seen that the change he promised us has changed us from from pan to fire.
Are you saying the president has done nothing?
The president, it is
emphatically. Will you tell me that the president has done nothing?
I will not say the president has done nothing, but I will say emphatically the president has performed below expectation. Done nothing is different from performing below expectation. You can be traveling without having a destination. Not even contest, who did not even aspire, who did not post a poster or converse or convince anybody that he wants to be, was consensusly or unanimously picked by the president to be the chairman of the party.
The powers of the president here cannot be overemphasized, because you can look at governors in their various states. They also use that.
That is where I'm going. It cannot be overemphasized, but it can equally, like you said, it cannot be underestimated. I agree with you totally. But what has been happening in this country is not what ought to happen, because if you have a robust democracy, if you have a credible democracy in the last 7 years, you will see that there is something called participatory democracy, where the other party is allowed to even bring in people into the system, technocrats and everything and what have you. But this government has made everything purely APC. If you are not APC, you cannot eat from this government, you cannot benefit from the government, this government will not associate with you. Therefore, it has deprived us democratic tenets. But that is not where we are going. Where we are going is who succeeds the president.
No, I'm particular about the word successor. I was expecting him to say the flag bearer of APC.
Thank you very much.
Using that word successor means
you know, this is a country where anytime we want to browbeat, hoodwink, or bamboozle the populace, we always have people that will come up with a literary device, a literary term,
adjectives,
adjectives that this is autocratic, this is Mephistophelian. If you are changing from consensus to successor, I think you are talking of two different things. Because if you are saying consensus means everybody should come. You have about 5-6 governors contesting. You have ministers contesting. You have people that are close to the president that are contesting, about 23-24 of them. Consensus will mean all of them will sit down and will now see the might, the width, the capacity, the capability, the regional effect, the geopolitical positivity that is incumbent in those people, and amongst them one will now be picked. That means they will be party to choosing who is consensus amongst them, and consensus is derived from the fact that, okay, we don't want party litigations whereby somebody will win and the party will have to go to court so that as to draw back. Fast democracy, credible democracy, but it has been turned into something else. Now the president has now even jittered the word, and if you look at it, each time the president wants to do something funny, wants to say something of this effect, he will travel out of the country. Now he changed from consensus to successor.
I'm particular about the flag bearer. Instead of him using the word flag bearer, he's saying success. That means there's not going to be any election.
That is exactly what
we just handpick somebody.
The president has just made us to realize that come 2023, forget it. Whether you said we have 57 political parties and we only have Atiku from the PDP, all other ones they are just Lilliput. They are political Lilliput. There is no spot force that can mitigate against APC and PDP. And if the president is already telling you that he has a successor, that means the election. This is a country where the governor of the central bank, the person that is in charge of our money, even throw his own cap into the ring that he wants to contest. This is a situation where you are even telling the chairman of the INEC whether he himself is interested. Virtually everybody in this government is interested in succeeding Buhari, and the Buhari you are talking about, look at the electioneering campaign. Amechi went to Kaduna. El-Rufai presented him to the delegate as the chosen one. Kayode Fayemi went there, the same thing. Tinubu. And if you look at it, why did we have up to 23 people or 24 people buying forms at 100 million naira each? It is because all of them, I think it started with Dave Umai. All of them, they now started saying, I've gone to the president, I've met the president, I've told the president I want to contest, and like the president has said that I told you that it belongs to everybody, it belongs to nobody. The president gives his blessing to everybody, instead of him to tell them that, come, I have somebody that is succeeding me, I have somebody that I'm looking up to. The president allow all of them to go and purchase 100 million forms, and they've traversed around the country, they've gone everywhere in the country, and you are now expecting that those people now will now sit down and the president will bring out somebody and say this person is
let me read this.
I think this thing is going to throw the party. There's a likelihood of an internal implosion already, because at the screening, one of the major candidates who has contributed immensely, who built the party over the years, said there that he's not going to be part of any consensus arrangement.
Okay, let's look at
a consensus, it should be the one that should be the consensus. I mean, but now that we have it like this, for a Bola Tinubu to be saying he's not going to be part of any consensus arrangement, that he wants a democratic process, means he knows that consensus or that succession of a thing will not be favorable to him.
Let me read this out. President Muhammadu Buhari has asked the All Progressives Congress (APC) governors to allow him choose his successor, just as they were given a free hand to pick theirs. Don't you think it's fair?
You said as they were given free hand to pick there. I think that is a statement that is shrouded in mystery. Giving free hands in what way? They all contested under the party's platform, and they won, and he is the president, and they are in control of the state. Had it been peradventure, he was adamant as at that time he allowed free and fair elections to hold in those other states without allowing the governors to unpick who succeeds them or who becomes what, then he will not have that question of morality. The question of morality here is that he is trying to prove that he allowed them to go and pick their successors in their state, meaning he did not even allow for democratically elections to take place in those places. He used the machinery of the INEC and all other means and the security to ensure that those people that those governors pick ended up becoming, at the government house or wherever nomenclature they want to be, and that is why he's now telling us that he wants to pick a successor, not even a consensus, not a flag bearer of APC now, a successor, meaning whoever Buhari picks tomorrow that is afraid
automatically
President Buhari, let's just respect him, whoever President Buhari picks tomorrow will automatically become the president, because all machineries will be made to work along that line. That means Atiku should go and sleep.
You think that is possible?
That means Austin Mogalu should go and sleep.
Would that be possible?
Means Sowore should go and sleep. It may be why it is impossible. Why it is not that it is possible, and it is not that it is impossible. The fact remains that in this country we have not garnered a third force. We don't have a third force.
Labour Party.
Who can be which Labour Party? Which Labour Party? Who is in the Labour Party?
Peter Obi.
Peter Obi is not a Labour Party person now. He only defected to Labour Party to achieve his aim, and they didn't have the structure. Like winning election in Nigeria is about structures. That is, do you know,
like Makinde?
The major problem,
like Makinde?
The major problem they first have with him is him not signing that section 84, which
subsection 12,
subsection 12, which gives power statutory delegates, you understand, for people to win browbeat and win election. Those ones are not there. The Kwankwanso that is supposed to work with, if Paradventure Kwankwanso agrees to be a vice, if not for gluttony, in fact, this is a country I have sympathy for PDP, but my anger is that PDP got so beclouded to the extent that, okay, in this country we are not even sane enough to see that a northerner ruled us for 8 years, and you are bringing in another northerner, and you call yourself the opposition party. Now, even the ruling party that is ruling us has now even told us that the person you are bringing that is my kinsman may not be there, because we don't even know who is going to succeed Buhari. We don't know if it's Amechi, we don't know if it's a PYO, and we don't know if all these stories we are hearing about a Goodluck Jonathan contesting election from the back door, because 2-3 days ago they went to court. There was a waiver for him that he can contest, that he can become a member of a political party. Yesterday there was something online, it cannot be quantified, it is not a verifiable information, of a picture of him that he was screened via Zoom. He has never been to the office, but Fulani people pick 100 million ticket form on his behalf, and the president keeps telling us that he didn't want to tell us his candidate so that we will not assassinate him or people will not assassinate because me I'm not a killer.
Okay.
But if he now mentions it, is he going to be wearing armor tank or the person will be living inside villa till after election? Because I don't know, the president is already building opprobrium, mounting prayer on the country itself, making the country sit on a keg of gun that has failed the people. He's now telling the people that have failed you and I want to impose another person on you without giving a democratic space for other people to contest. Then
I was expecting that the convention that brought the chairman, there would be crisis, but we saw that the president chose Abdullahi and nothing happened, even from the big wigs.
The interest there is minute. The interest here is paramount. The interest here is gargantuan. First instance, it should be him because he built the party, he rallied around the party, he marched the party, he brought out his money. So he should be the beneficiary of the consensus. So for him to be against it means he is already aware that the consensus is not favorable to him. And the following day, the president now said it's no longer a consensus, so that he wants to pick his own successor.
For equity and fairness, who do you think would be should be the flag bearer of the APC?
There is no equity again or fairness again because it is illegal to be legal in an illegal society.
It is illegal.
It is illegal to be legal in an illegal society. How can you talk of equity when everybody that now look at what is happening. Look at what is happening. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu media team that has assiduously stood with Professor Yemi Osinbajo and Buhari for 6 years, solid years, defending all their profligacies. This is the same bat group that is now saying PYO that Yemi Osinbajo failed with Buhari, that Amechi failed with Buhari. So who are you? Who has the moral penumbra in the APC that can? In fact, we should not even be talking. I think we are degrading so fast in this country. This is a country where we have suffered for 7 years. This is a country where naturally the pendulum ought to swing into an opposition. Whoever the opposition is bringing, we should just say no to APC. But now this is a situation whereby we are faced with the dictatorship. We are not practicing democracy again.
We are not practicing
it again when you have turned consensus into successor.
Look at
when you no longer
PDP primaries, there was election.
Yes, those ones.
That's democracy.
That is democracy on the other side. But democracy cannot be viable if the ruling party did not give a level playing field. Goodluck gave a level playing field in 2015. He even congratulated Buhari after Buhari had said blood will flow. But with what we are saying now, with Buhari already telling us emphatically that he has a successor, not a consensus candidate of his party, a successor. It means all the forces, the machinery of INEC and security will work towards implanting and putting that on us. And are you saying that the president has the right person in mind to give us, to take over from what he has done for us?
He has a legacy that some of the aspirants said they want to build on.
Which legacy?
We have the likes of Amechi, we have the likes of Osinbajo.
Legacy of stealing money. At the rate at which they stole under this administration cannot, because Abacha is playing. And you still see that this is the Abacha, this is the Abacha that then up to today we are still getting money, billions of dollars, billions of dollars. But this is a country now where one accountant general, ordinary one, get a chinking man like this, stole 80 billion, another 150 billion. How will he have even known?
You said there was not any assessment.
There was no assessment. He just got
why
there.
Why did he not say they needed surveillance?
He got there the day just to commiserate. He went there the following day when the thing happened, and
he is working with people now.
With
they will
people,
bring
with
a
people
report.
that have not, as at that following day that he went there, they've not even know how many are the casualties. They've not know how many people are killed. They've not known the level of damage. He just went to decide. On-site assessment is what we call it. He went for an on-site assessment and he said they will be needing 60 billion. This is the same Amechi that they said, okay, there is a particular money contract awarded to his sibling that didn't even have up to 100 million in account, and they awarded something of 7 billion. And this is Pastor Professor Yemi Osinbajo, our knowledgeable Akada pastor from God. Somebody was asking me yesterday that, okay, am I now saying Professor Yemi Osinbajo too will bribe delegates to vote for him, or they will vote for him in the Jesus name? This is somebody that they said social investment fund, about 90 billion from the Osinbajo camp. So he who must go into equity must go in with clean hands. But in this administration, everybody is soiled. So I don't think President Buhari has anybody amongst his current cabal that has the moral penumbra, the integrity, the dexterity, the charisma, or the virtues required to move Nigeria from this quagmire. I don't think so.
Okay, I think you're in support of the PDP.
I'm not in support of the PDP. I've just told you that I'm not even impressed with. They are not mounting opposition enough. They are not a serious opposition party.
Do you have any person in PDP that does have the enumbra?
Yes, it should have. Had it been their democratic too, had it been they did not use money, I think a Peter Obi, I'm a Yoruba man, but I think things should be just. You understand? I think a Peter Obi is more qualified, but he didn't have the money that Atiku has.
Or he didn't want to
he
participate
did not have. Atiku gave $20,000. How much is $20,000?
Money politics.
That's almost 9 to 15 million to each person. Where will he get that? He didn't have the politics in this country has been monetized. Look at you said Peter Obi went to SDP and Patutomi stepped down for
Labour Party.
Labour Party. Peter Obi Patutomi stepped down for him. That means money has exchanged hands. Initially, before, political parties are the one that are supposed to promote individuals for the people, but now individuals will go and steal. Look at this guy now. They show him here in Lagos, Banky W. He entered into PDP. He went into primaries. It has already even gone on here. He has been celebrating that he won primary to represent Ethiopia or somewhere constituency here, and 2 days later we saw an abracadabra, a different document, a match at INEC that he was not the winner of that primary. So we now have a country. Before, do you used to hear primaries? They don't do primaries before now. Before, it is an internal thing within the party
it's lucrative.
where they will just pick. It's not a lucrative thing. Now they asked one small 5-year-old boy yesterday, what do you want to be in the
I want to be a delegate.
I want to be a delegate. Why people are now looking for books. How do I qualify to be a delegate? Because they know this is a time and period where they can amass wealth, where you can get from where you did not sow, where people will bring out from the ones they've stolen. So,
okay, in conclusion, what will you advise the powers that be in APC on this choosing of successor?
they should tread it softly, because I see the internal implosion of APC. If Tinubu is not giving tickets, I see him leaving the party. And if Tinubu leaves the party, I see the whole Southwest leaving the party with him as the majority of the Southwest.
The whole Southwest?
Like majority of the Southwest. Let me know.
Would you say that Tinubu has that support in the Southwest?
He has the structures. It is not support, it is the structures. At the MBA, at the academy, Broadcasting Academy, there is this, we argued this for 5 days. What is the difference between a statutory delegate and an ordinary person? An ordinary person can seek for an elective position and win. But a statutory delegate is someone that has already stolen. If ordinary person is contesting against a statutory person, he will lose, because he will now be relying on people to raise funds for him, while somebody that is statutory has been there, has stolen. Sir, what we are saying is this man has structures. In the last 20 years, he has made people. He has governors, he has ministers, he has senators, he has House of Rep members, and they are all alive. None of them is dead, and they are supporting him. Even most of them may not morally come out to support him, but morally too they cannot come out to be against him. What I'm trying to say in essence is, if President Buhari, it's not because it's not only the Yorubas that are there. They are trying to coerce, browbeat and doing the South people into it. The Dave Umai, the Ben Ayades of this world, and we are hearing of Jonathan coming through the back door. Though I don't see the sense in that, I don't see, but nothing that cannot happen in Nigeria. It is only in Nigeria that a snake can enter into an office, break the door open, and swallow money. So if those things can happen, then forget it. If you don't forget it, you forget it.
Okay, we have come to the end of the program. Pundits on Flip TV. I have my wonderful guest, Mr. Aristotle.
It's a pleasure being there.
It has been wonderful today. Okay, as we look forward to the choice of the president, let's pray and hope that APC as a party does not go into shreds. I'm Christian Chukwu. I'll say bye for now till next edition of the Pundits on Flip TV.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like